Welcome back to Sometime This Week. We're your hosts Layney
and Bailey, and today we have a great lineup for you.
We hear from PhD student Rayane Tchantchane about her experience as a woman in engineering and how her research could help change lives.
We hear the ins and outs of the Student Journalism Conference held last weekend and get to know the faces behind Building 29 on campus.
But first, here's Amber with your news update.
Thanks, Layney. A man has been shot dead in Sydney's west in what has been the second shooting in only a few days. Emergency services were called to the scene around 7 p.m. on Tuesday, following reports of gunshots in the area. Witnesses told police that they saw a man being shot as he was entering his car. The victim was treated by New South Wales ambulance paramedics but died while being transported to hospital. The victim has not yet been identified. Qantas Airlines has been ordered to pay a $90 million fine for illegally firing over 1,800 baggage handlers and other ground staff during the 2020 COVID pandemic. On Monday, the federal court judge, Justice Michael Lee, ordered Qantas to pay $50 million from the total fine directly to the Transport Workers Union. The decision comes after a 5-year-long legal battle, and it is the biggest penalty ever imposed by a court for violations of industrial relation laws in Australia. Wollongong steel giant BlueScope has sounded the alarm over Australia's energy crisis, warning that unsustainably high gas prices are pushing domestic manufacturing to a tipping point. The steelmaker has reported a full-year profit of $84 million, a 90% drop from the $721 million reported a year ago. Speaking after the company's AGM, BlueScope CEO Mark Vassella said energy costs in Australia are now 3 to 4 times higher than in the US. While BlueScope insists day-to-day operations at Port Kembla will continue, rising energy costs and global demand pressures could weigh heavily on the Illawarra workforce. Swimmers and surfers in northern New South Wales are being urged to stay alert after a shark attack on Monday forced several beaches to close. A man is recovering after being bitten by a shark at Cabarita Beach in northern New South Wales. Beaches along the Tweed coast were briefly closed while lifesavers carried out patrols using drones and jet skis. The man was treated for leg injuries and is in a stable condition. Authorities are urging anyone heading north later this week to check local beach alerts and always swim between the flags. Back to you.
Today we have a special guest here to speak about her engineering research in the field of multimodal biomedical feedback. But don't hear it from us, here is Rayane.
Hello, hi, my name is Rayane and I'm currently a third-year PhD candidate at the University of Wollongong. My PhD is about a multimodal sensing system for hand gesture recognition. You might be wondering, what's my PhD about? Well, imagine with me that a glove that can sense your every move, an outfit that monitors your heartbeat, your strain, your pressure, and even your sweat, with no wires, with no bulky medical devices, and without even compromising your own personal style. This isn't fiction. This is a science I am building today. This is a real working wearable technology. It's a fully functional prototype. So how does this research work, or how did I make this sensor? Well, this sensor is made up of a wop-wop structure. As it's being stretched and moves through the body, electrical signal changes, allowing us to measure strains up to 150% and pressures up to 330 kilopascal, and even allowing us to detect early signs of muscle fatigue, abrupt heartbeats, and unusual sweating. So think of it as a responsive fabric, a fabric that listens. But we didn't stop there. We've trained an AI model to act like your personal healthcare detective. It continuously learns from your own movements and patterns, detecting subtle changes before they even become a problem or even a symptom. This isn't science fiction. This is a science I am building today. It's a one step closer to the future, where clothing becomes much more than what we wear. It's a tool for care, connection, and control, to making our life easier, smarter, and more human. This is the future of wearable health, and it starts with what you wear. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sometime This Week. Today we're with Rayane Tchantchane, and she's telling us about her thesis on
hand gesture recognition based on wearable systems.
Perfect.
So before we get into the research, can you tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, what your background is?
Yeah, so my name is Rayane Tchantchane and I'm currently a third-year PhD candidate at the University of Wollongong. I graduated from the University of Wollongong in Dubai in my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and now I'm doing my PhD here. Yeah, and I'm Algerian.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long have you been at the Wollongong campus for?
In Australia?
Yes.
It's been 3 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's a cool journey.
Yeah. Post-COVID.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I was lucky.
Yeah.
What was the journey of studying from Dubai and then over here like?
It was a great transition, a very smooth transition, I would say, because it's the same university. Yeah, so it was a very smooth transition, yeah, I would say. I was doing my bachelor's in mechanical. Now I'm doing biomedical/mechanical, so the transition was quite very similar in terms of background, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that as an engineer that transition was easier than, say, if you were studying something else?
Very good question. I think the basics and the fundamentals are there. Shouldn't make a huge difference, I would say.
Yeah.
Regardless of, I would say, and to be, we have the same subjects, the same courses, so it's quite similar, I would say. Very uniform. Yeah.
How did you find the experience of condensing all the information from your PhD into the 3-minute explanation?
Oh, that's very, very hard. It was a little bit frustrating in the beginning because you can't explain a whole book in 3 minutes. It's quite impossible. But yeah, I was quite proud of me and the other candidates who were able to compress all that in 3 minutes. I think that's a win, regardless. Yeah.
How was being in that environment, listening to other people present their 3-minute thesis? Was it intimidating? Was it inspiring?
Very inspiring. Just knowing different people's topics and and their studies was quite cool. Yeah, everyone is doing super cool stuff in the University of Wollongong. Yeah.
Was it mainly based on engineering with your thesis? Like, were you surrounded by people also doing?
No, that's
a mix.
Yeah, it was a mix that was quite helpful, and even for collaboration, you don't know what other faculty or other school is doing or other, course or how do I say it? Like another course, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was quite important for us to meet there and kind of share our thesis and share information, and maybe a potential collaboration could happen. Yeah, when you have these meetings.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah.
How do you find being in a male-dominated field? Obviously, you've obviously travelled across the world.
Yeah.
Studying engineering. How has that worked for you?
In my bachelor's, I would say I was maybe the only girl in the mechanical engineering.
Wow.
So I was fortunate enough to be the first graduate, a female graduate actually, at the University of Wollongong in Dubai in mechanical engineering. So I was the first graduate and I was the first female. So that was quite, I would say, sad to see that I was the first one in mechanical. So I think I'm here to be a role model and share my story and hopefully inspire other girls and women to join STEM in general. Regardless of mechanical, civil, mechatronics, telecommunications, they're all great in their own way. Yeah.
And where does your passion for engineering come from?
Oh, my father, for sure. My father is a professor, and he's from an engineering background, so I kind of followed his footsteps. He's a great inspirational role model to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he still back home, or is he over here as well?
He's in Dubai. He's based in Dubai now. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. With your PhD, what was the inspiration behind the specific strain of research you've gone down?
I think our main goal is to help people, to help people with sign language barriers or people with prosthetic hands are quite expensive. So we're trying to build something that's feasible, cheaper relatively, and something that's applicable and usable to all worldwide. So what we're making is one of the goals of my research is to make a sensor that is flexible, stretchable, very comfortable, and very intuitive, that conforms easily to the human body and tissues. And then from that, we use biosignals to translate them to gestures, and then hopefully use them in prosthetic control. So that would be, help people with amputated people essentially. So kind of it's a goal to help people with needs for that in that sense, I would say. Yep.
That is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
That sounds so confusing though. How I'm assuming you would have had to have hit 100 different roadblocks while trying to do this.
Yeah. It's tough. It's
Never ending, probably.
Yeah. And the thing is with this course, or with my thesis, it just doesn't have like one core. It requires like design optimization. It requires like material selection. It requires coding, like machine learning, and we have to use like deep learning techniques to kind of translate that into a meaningful translation, right? So it kind of has a lot of cores that I had to learn, and I had to accept that I cannot be good at each and one of them. So it's okay to ask help from other departments or from your teammates and colleagues, because you can't be great in every single thing in this domain, especially in engineering. I would say it's impossible. Yeah, it's tough.
I would find like going through such a research process, I would really rely on the community around me as well.
For sure.
You find the same?
I was very lucky to have a really strong team. I'm very, very strong team. Yeah.
What was the like you listed a bunch of different uses that this could potentially have in your presentation earlier. What's the one that excites you the most?
That's a very good question. I agree. What excites me the most, or maybe in the application side of it, the application is actually seeing it in real life, having that, just to see that system working in real life, in real application, in an online environment instead of a research base, that's quite fulfilling, I would say. So that was the most exciting thing to see. Yeah, for sure. It's just having, working. So like, when, for example, I'll give you an example to make it more imaginative, I would say. For example, if I want to control a robot, right, using my sensor, my wearable device, I could see it, that it's actually working, and you could see that it's a fully functional prototype. So that's very cool. Yeah.
And you're changing lives with it as well.
Yeah.
You're helping people.
Hopefully one day I'll, to make that change. Yeah. And to contribute to the scientific. Work.
And also, most importantly, play video games with it.
Exactly. Virtual reality is one of my other applications. Yeah. So we basically kind of. So one of my applications is I used to play Mario games with my wearable sensor. So I kind of put him up and down, go up and down in the game, and make him run faster or slower. That's cool. Yeah, just to see. And he always loses. I mean, it works, but just I'm really bad at the game. That's all.
That's so cool, though. I'm just going to daydream about this for a minute. You ask a question.
No, it's very, it's nothing that I've ever really investigated, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's very cool to hear about it from you.
Thank you. Thank you
tell
so
you're
much.
very passionate about it.
Of course. Yeah. Very lucky to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Rayane, for your time.
Thank you.
Australia has shivered through its coldest night of the year on Monday night, with temperatures well below average across New South Wales. The Bureau of Meteorology says the chill will continue, with a rain band set to bring persistent showers along the east coast, including the Illawarra, for much of this week. Residents are being urged to prepare for several damp and windy days ahead. Let's hear from those out there braving the rain.
Australia has shivered through its coldest night of the year on Monday, with temperatures well below average. More wet and windy conditions are expected for the east coast, including the Illawarra. Let's go see what UOW students think about the weather. How are you coping with the wet weather today?
Oh, it's alright. It's a bit cold, but it's still nice to get out.
Pretty well. Driving down here is tough, but other than that, pretty well.
So good so far. Yeah, very wet, but that's about it.
Feeling cold and pale, pretty much. Do you have a favourite wet weather activity? Sleeping in my bed, cuddling up. I have an electric blanket, so I'm really actually been loving it.
I've been watching movies inside. That's fine.
Probably baking something warm.
Laying in bed. Yeah.
Yeah, probably surfing. Other than studying, library's alright, but when we get down to the beach, it'll be alright.
Yeah, definitely surfing.
Wollongong's seen about 50 millilitres worth of rainfall in the last 4 days. Can you tell? If you were to pick a song for the wet weather, what would you pick?
Ooh, probably something like Walking on Sunshine, being a bit hopeful that it'll stop raining soon.
Something Noah Khan, maybe New Perspective. It's a good one.
It's Raining Men, probably. It's a bit on the nose, but a Rain Song by Led Zeppelin has been on repeat last few days, so yeah.
Thank you so much. Now let's get back out of this wet weather. Back to you, Layney and Bailey.
Everybody asks where is Riley, but no one ever asks how is Riley. We're going to take a peek behind the tech desk and get a glimpse of what typically goes on in Building 29.
How's it going? I'm Alek, and here we have the Building 29 Tame Tech office. And we're going to get a behind-the-scenes look soon as Riley lets us in. He's over there inside. Let's get some footage in there. Look at Riley in there. Look at him, working hard. We're going to be checking out. Not many students get to see what happens behind the desk. We always get to rent out all this equipment, but we never actually get to see what these guys do behind closed doors. Well, the doors are very clear, but we're gonna have a look anyways. I've got to hold it so you don't trip over it. Hello. Here we're joined by Riley from the tech office. How you doing, Riley?
Good. I feel like every year we tell students not to do a story on us, and yet every week it feels like someone pitches this. This is only the newest idea of it.
Look, we just love you guys. We love how much you help us out, and we're all so curious to see what happens behind closed doors. So
it's really not much. It's an office. I don't know if you've ever seen an office, but it's an office.
Well, not to be a vampire, but I do have to be invited in. So
come in, I guess. I don't know.
Here we are in the Building 29 Tech office with Riley to show us around. That's right, yes. 203, Tech Staff and Store.
That's it.
So let's look at your front desk here. What do we got going on here?
What? It's a computer that does the loans. I think anybody who has borrowed something has probably seen.
Oh my gosh! Look over here. Come. Look at the keys. What a wonderful little sticker. Who came up with that sticker?
Probably Glenn printed that from a photo of him playing in the office, and we hung it up for him to enjoy. I was going to say, is there anything else in here? There's no, just his tuna.
Oh, I love the tuna.
Post-it notes, a free coffee from Hemingway when my lunch was late. I'm going to say, what else have we got? Not much. It's slightly personality-less, but chaotic enough. We can't take you all the way out to the back because it is too chaotic and it's not clean.
No. Well, could we actually check out these fancy shelves with all the equipment?
Yeah, I don't know what you're expecting to find, but yes, if you would like. You can just slide the compactus, it's called.
Let's go. Oh my gosh.
Stuff. I don't know what to tell you about it. I can't describe this in a way that's not its stuff.
This is incredible. This is the happiest day of my life. I love this so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Riley. Are you going to kick us out now?
Yeah, go. Gotta go.
Oh, gosh. Let's go.
Meet Emily, a UOW student who attended the Student Journalism Conference over the weekend. Maybe she'll leave you inspired. Now we're here to talk about the Student Journalism Conference that happened over the weekend from Friday through to Monday. Today we've got Emily and she's going to tell us about her experiences.
Hi guys.
Hi. How was the conference? How did you find it?
I really enjoyed it. I found it super informative and there was a lot of really incredible guest speakers that you wouldn't often get to hear from in such an intimate setting. So it was fantastic.
Yeah. Who were the standouts for you? What did you really take away from the experience?
So my favourite was, I have my little program here. In the afternoon of the Friday, we saw Anthony Lowenstein and Wendy Bacon, and they spoke about activism and journalism and how they can intersect, and they of course spoke about all of their really interesting investigative journalism. Gosh.
That's what I would have found really interesting. Yeah, their experiences with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were really eloquent and had a lot of really interesting stories to share about their life as well as their work.
Yeah. How did the conference play out? What was sort of the setup that they had going? It was at UCID.
Yes. Yeah. So what they did was they began with a ceremony discussing all things student journalism, and there was intros from all different unis and student magazines. So everyone had a little chance to come up and speak about their projects. And then throughout the day, there was different speeches organised. There was also some radio sessions that I know some other people went to. They had some free lunches throughout the day, and they had a bookstore that you could go to and buy books from the people that were speaking. So, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, like an all-round experience, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
How did you hear about the conference as a whole? Because I feel like a lot of people haven't.
I heard about it through my friend Alek. Yes, so he sent through a link. I think that he's quite well connected with the people at UCID. Anyway, so that's how I heard about it. It was simply just through word of mouth. Yeah.
If you were looking for more experiences like this, and you didn't have those sorts of contacts, where would you go looking, do you think?
I think I have made an effort to try and find on Instagram as many independent journalists and student magazines and things like that, just to try and keep an ear to the ground of events that are happening. So probably Instagram, really.
Yeah. Social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go back again next year if you had the chance?
Yeah, absolutely. So the really great thing about it was not only just the education side of all of it and hearing all of those, really fantastic stories from people, but also the networking opportunities. So after all of the talks, usually the speakers stuck around and were actually really interested to speak to all the students that were there. So it was just fantastic to actually meet these people that you read all their stories of in all these different places. So yeah, I would definitely go back.
Did you leave feeling really inspired and really excited to continue studying journalism?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just really nice to, especially there was a lot of really independent journalists there, and so it was really nice to see that there's so many different avenues that you can take, and a lot of them can be really nuanced to who you are as a person and what you want to achieve. So yeah, it was really, really nice.
Yeah.
When you said the networking opportunities that there were, did you make any connections while you were there at the conference?
I did have a good talk to Wendy Bacon, and that was because Ben, one of the lecturers here, he mentioned that he's friends with her and to go and make sure that we say hello. So yeah, we made an effort to go and speak to her after her talk, and she was fantastic. She just has such a vibrant life and so many interesting stories to share. So I definitely spoke to her for a little bit. Yeah.
What about with the fellow students at the event? Do you think it brought you together in a bit of a way, connecting all the different schools in terms of journalism?
Yeah, absolutely. They had events every night that were very tailored to attract students. So the first night they had a bar tab. And I think after that they had, I didn't make it to these ones, but they had a trivia night and they had more social interactions for all of the students to come together.
Yeah, sounds like you took a lot from it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Thanks for coming on, Emily. We really appreciated having your insight into the conference, and we hope more people can listen to your experience and get inspired for their journalism careers and maybe even attend next year.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. Thanks for tuning in to Sometime This Week. We've been your hosts, Layney
and Bailey. Have a great night and tune in next week for more of Sometime This Week next week.